All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? We're gonna talk about how we lost some money today. So, pretty crazy aftermath when it was all said and done. We actually had a lot of money wiped out of the stock market today. I think it was like, how much was it today? I don't know. There was a lot of money that got liquidated in the stock market. Crypto's been crashing, all that. But as far as the model that I'm pretty much showcasing on all these recaps and on all my live sessions, um, we started off decent. Like it looked like our move was kind of working out, and then it didn't work out. So we're gonna kind of look at what went well at the beginning, all the confirmations, and then ultimately what I think kind of caused us to be on the wrong side of things when it was all said and done. So let's get into it. So looking at everything leading up into our window here, we got 10 a.m. that starts to roll around. Now, for those who've been watching the recaps or understand the model I've been trading, basically what I'm looking for is a set of confirmations that start with what happens on the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern 4-hour candle. We saw that we had a very strong 4-hour candle from 6 to 10, which for me is showing me that I want to be rolling with that previous candle's momentum for a continued directional push. In this case, for buys or longs in the market. The other confirmations are where we are at in respect to the Asian range. We saw that price did break above Asia. We even saw it dip below and then back above, which is something I love to see. So we tested the lows, rejected the lows, tried breaking down after taking the high, and then we ended up recovering back up. So honestly, everything was looking good for those confirmations. So we had Asia bullish, we had the 4-hour candle was bullish, VWAP was also sitting nicely below here. So we had pretty much all the momentum to the buy side. Now, really all I'm looking for from there is the 10 a.m. candle PO3, where basically we want to see accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution in this fashion if we're looking for buy models. So yeah, basically 10 a.m. opens. I want to see price basically dip below 10 a.m. and then cross back above for buys that end up running for at least 2R plus. And that's it. Every single time we can get that, we will look to take a trade. Now, we saw 10 a.m. open, pop up, drop a little bit. And here we got that first significant push down. So at this point, we got all those boxes checked off. Now, really all I'm looking for is for price to bottom out at some point and then recover back above 10 a.m. open price, where basically this entire move onward would be the manipulation against the momentum. And then from there, we can look for price to correct and then continue upward. So this is the idea. Price kept going down a little bit. I think we bottomed out somewhere around here. There we go. So we bottomed out here. All right. So from this point on, just looking for us to cross back above 10 a.m., which is the green line you guys are seeing here. And then we basically have a trade. So we saw price kind of test, drop one more time, and then here we got that first candle starting to pop back up. So on the live session today, we got that entry right there. Obviously, the first thing we want to look at is how price behaves once we take that previous high. And as far as where we can look to maybe hit, we saw that we had this high point right here from, I believe this is Monday. So Monday the 17th. And right around there, we'd be almost at a 2R. So at that point, I'd be pretty happy to get to that point, and we can definitely go risk-free on the position and take it from there. So again, everything looked really, really well. Again, you can see on the higher time frames, we got that nice wick rejection, closing back above open price. respecting the previous candle. So yeah, at this point, looking good. Get a little bit of a pullback, end up coming back up, and then ultimately we did not have enough juice and get stopped out here. So I know some people were very aggressively managing this position, were able to go break even. Personally, I was trying to really allow the position to just run. By the time this second candle on the 2-minute printed here, it was basically a lost cause, obviously, at that point. And that was it. So pretty quick L today when it came to this specific position. And man, what ended up happening after was just a massive meltdown of historical metrics, right? I mean, we had like a crazy push to the downside. So obviously, the L doesn't hurt as much as being able to, like, the L doesn't really hurt that much. It's more so not participating in this big of a drop off. That kind of obviously sucks more. I do teach other models that I've kind of taught before this specific model that we introduced, where we do look for breakouts of Asia during, New York sessions. So I know some people that shorted within Asia here that did catch the move down. I've really been documenting and just trading this one model to like build just like a track record and, one simple way for everybody to take trades day in and day out. Aside from what I've always taught with Asia. But yeah, that was pretty crazy drop off today. So this week overall, we had a no trade day Monday, a no trade day Wednesday. Tuesday, we caught a 2-to-1. Today, I took a L. And so hopefully tomorrow, we have a good move that just respects all my confirmations and runs for another 2R plus. So we can end the week at a decent number. I mean, even if we do 2R tomorrow, that would put me at like plus 3R for the week. And obviously that's not an astronomical number. It's not anything crazy. But with a sizable risk and having multiple funded accounts and enough capital, 3R can go a very, very long way anyways. And it's just 1 week, right? I mean, last week, the strategy was hitting. I didn't really start recording these until this week. If you're in the private mentorship, which is called the Koshex, then obviously you've been, seeing the results and everything of the last couple weeks. But definitely this week has been pretty trash as far as this one specific model. So the market is never trash, really. It's just what we want it to do, and the market not doing what we want it to do, right? That's what makes it not so fun for me. But I know a lot of people, could definitely have caught this sell-off today and made a lot of money. So there will be days where certain strategies shine other than, more than others, and vice versa. So, but looking back at really, the grand scheme of how we got to this point, really from Sunday, the 16th. So if you actually go back and look at the market outlook on the 16th, these were pretty much like the main liquidity, pools or targets for the sell side that I was looking at from the beginning of the week, when we were back over here, because we really ended off the previous week. We saw Thursday and then Friday, we saw like this big drop off, and it looked like we were headed here towards the end of last week. And we ended up, I think on Friday, just ending the day like recovered all the way up here. Start to the week ended up dropping off. Then after FOMC, we got this burst to the upside again. And then today we ended up just finally finishing the job with a massive sell-off day today. Let me actually replay. So yeah, man, we are here now, and basically from Sunday to today, the overall like very obvious liquidity target ended up finally getting ran through. I don't know, post FOMC, us getting this recovery, all my confirmations for bullish price action, I really thought we could at least squeeze that 2R and at least take out this previous little high point that we had here, but it didn't quite get there. We ended up respecting, lower highs, lower lows overall over the past several weeks. We kind of saw that last week. We had these highs, price didn't quite get there, dropped off, and yeah, we basically respected this lower high at a very deep retracement before this crazy drop off. So Yeah, I think a lot of the no trade days and everything just came because, for the specific confirmations I looked for as far as what that 6 a.m. candle does, we had 2 days where we got bullish 6 a.m. candles. And so obviously I'm looking for the continuation at 10 a.m. And the overall trend just ends up, being just too much to overcome in that specific window, and leads to obviously us either taking losses, break evens, not letting our trades run to a strong RR, all those, issues. So if we were to have like bearish 6 a.m. candles all these other days, then man, we would have, obviously had the confirmations for sells on top of the overall trend, and it would have made our life much easier to trade this week. So, again, for those who know the confirmations, the rules, and everything, we've been back testing week after week after week, and it's been crushing. This week was not so crushing. So I look forward to seeing what tomorrow brings and next week as well. But again, it's always about having a systematic approach to what we're looking for, what we're trying to accomplish. And over the long run, there's no problem with taking no trade days, small loss days. As long as we can do 2R plus on the winning days, I mean, it's just fine, I can literally lose 3 days out of the week, win the 2 other days, and we'll still end up profitable after 5 days. So it's just a matter of not trying to revenge trade, not trying to turn the days where the strategy is just not going to work out into winning days. You just got to let the losses be the losses, let the wins do what they do, and let time reveal the results, right? So the good thing is, if we do get a bullish 6 a.m. candle tomorrow, hopefully during New York, then we have a lot of reason to come back up. I mean, the amount of fair value gaps that we can see across multiple time frames, just starting with the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. I mean, we have a lot to rebalance from today. So essentially, at minimum, all of this right here will be the biggest thing that the market's going to want to head for. Just way too much of an imbalance to not get taken care of. And, ultimately, we did take out all liquidity that we can really see here. So all these major lows got taken out. We even just took out this low point right here as well. Now to start Asian session, currently like 7 p.m. here Eastern time right now. So we've basically wiped a lot of buyers out of the market, basically from, what's this, September 17th. So about 2 months worth of bullish price action, building up. All of this has been erased over the course of 3 weeks. We topped out here right around Halloween. It's November 20th now, so we've kind of washed out this entire up push in about less than half the time. So definitely a lot of liquidation taking place here. Again, we also see that across cryptos as well. But at some point, whatever goes down must come up as well. So, until we really shift above these highs that we kind of left from basically today and this week, then we can really say NASDAQ is shifting back bullish to maybe hit all-time highs again. But we are definitely in a bearish trend overall. And so because we just took out major targets to the downside, I do expect a pullback into these fair value gaps up here. So we might get that tomorrow to end the week. But, even off of that fair value gap, we could always still find ourselves, after getting this push up, to be looking for sells again. Until we really get a strong high time frame market shift, for example, again, breaking above these highs that we actually just formed today. If we can break above these highs, then at that point we could really say we're back bullish from a macro perspective on NASDAQ. But until we get those shifts there, overall we should just return to this as a pullback for more continued sell-off. So again, for tomorrow, depends how much we form during London and all that. I do not live stream Friday, so probably will just send out a signal to the community. We won't be looking at it live, but nonetheless, that is the plan, to take price back up to here and then see what happens from there. So pretty simple recap. You know, as far as taking L's, these are the ways that you learn. You know, it's not easy to learn when you win because you're just following your rules, making profit, and that's it. But overall, from what I can take is, you know, the losses just come from being in this range, dropping off from the beginning of the week's high to the week's low, kind of recouping all the way back up to these high points from the beginning of the week. So if we really recouped this much from Wednesday to this morning, wasn't really much room left for buying. And again, for me, I wasn't really trying to find a huge move. I did know that we were in a downtrend overall, but I was hoping to at least go 1-to-1, 2-to-1 to secure something before we got this. And at minimum, we would have made a small profit or a break even, but we did not even get that. We got just about a little bit over half R before price just melted and turned around. So an L day for me. But yeah, this is how it played out. So tomorrow, hopefully we can catch some long opportunities to rebalance price here. So we'll see on tomorrow's recap. Was good. So appreciate y'all. Links in the description. If you guys want to lose money with me, go ahead, get started. We can cry together. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.